the schedule is out, and I got to tell you, very interesting. Start off on the road against Lenoir-Rhyne. Then we bring Davenport to Bowie this time for the second game. Then we start off CIAA play at home versus Livingstone. We got Winston-Salem State on the schedule this year. Fayetteville State on the schedule this year. Bluefield in Bowie for homecoming. Union at home this year. Lincoln at home this year. Virginia State on the road. And listen, it'll be very easy to come out and say, you know what? We going to Salem. We going 8-2, 9-1. We going to run through the CIAA. We going back to the championship. But listen, the past 2 years have taught me something. There's nothing wrong with being optimistic, but you also have to take in the information in front of you. And so for the past couple of years, now this is year 3 of the Kyle Jackson era, right? 6-4, 6-4, solid. So we're gonna see. We're gonna wait and see. But what I will say is how the season ended was very, very encouraging. Very encouraging. First of all, towards the end of the season, we figured out the offense. In terms of the play calling made a lot more sense. The quarterback play was a lot more effective. The running game was a lot more effective. And on that note, Morris is coming back. The fullback is coming back. They've brought in a few runners from signing day. And so what I'm looking for this year, we have to effectively run the ball, which is something we've struggled with for the past few years. We also have to have an effective passing game. Play calling has to make sense. Quarterback has to get the ball out quickly. Has to cut back on the turnovers. Has to use his legs when necessary. We saw all of these things at the end of the season. The question becomes, is it going to transfer over into the new season? The question becomes, those who closed out the season, are they going to be in position for the next season? Because you never know with signing day and transfers and grades and all these different kinds of things. You never know who's going to be on the roster and what their role is and what the attitude is. So we're going to see. Spring ball is going to be important. I definitely got to check out that spring game just to see who's the projected starters, what the offense is looking like, those kinds of things. Another thing, very important. Can we stop the run? Because if we play run defense how we played last year, we won't be back in Salem. So I'm telling you right now, we got Winston-Salem State, Fayetteville State. Who's the other two? Oh, yeah, Union and Virginia State. If we can't stop the run, which brings you to another point. We have got to beat Union this year. 2 years ago, lost to Union at home in overtime. That was a good game, but we lost to them in overtime. Gave up a ton of rushing yards. Last year, got embarrassed at Union. Ran all over us again. This year, we have got to contain Jada Byers. I'm not saying shut him down, but I'm saying can we hold the young brother to 95 yards, 110 yards? Because the last few times we played Union, they've ran for like what? Almost 300 total yards. That can't happen. We can't keep giving up these 300s. It was the same thing against Virginia State. God, we got it, man. Those are the two very important things that are going to play a factor in success this year. Can we run the ball, and can we stop the run? If not, it's going to be another 6-4. Got to stop the run. Got to be able to run the ball. Got to build on the quarterback play we had to finish out the season last year. That's what's got to happen. Got to be fundamentally sound. Not a whole lot of broken tackles and guys quiet on the sideline and the defense over here and the offense over there and the defense mad because the offense can't score. Which, I'm not going to lie, it was justifiable. Like, it got to the point, we had a point in the season last year where the offense, not only were they not scoring, it was like 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 4 and out, 5 and out, 3 and out. Interception. Missed man. So I'm not saying guys didn't have a right to be upset. What I'm saying is, if we're going to win, can't have that this year. I have a saying that I've been really focused on this year in 2024. Is in life there's going to be problems, but I need new problems. I'm not dealing with the same stuff. So if you in a relationship with a woman, hey, y'all gonna have problems. Just don't have the same problems. Don't be arguing about the same stuff. It's the same thing with Bowie football. There's going to be problems. Just not the same problems. We can't run the ball. We can't still not be able to stop the run. We can't still have a handoff, try to throw a quick pass on third down, punt. We can't do that again. We already did that. We can't still have situations where we can't make open field tackles. Because I got to say, with who we have coming back, with the experience of the coaching staff, is it possible we go back to Salem? It's possible. But once again, let's run down what has to happen. Start off on the road at Lenoir-Rhyne. Okay. That could go either way. You know? Bring Davenport to Bowie. Home opener. I say we need to win that game. Just because you don't want to start 0-2. Plus, we got to get them back. Because remember, they beat us on the last second interception when we could have went down there and beat them. And remember, we could have went and beat Davenport. And at that point in the season, we still could not run the ball at all. And we were turning the ball over a lot. And we still almost won that game. On the road. So at home, hopefully we got the... I've been saying this for 2 years, but hopefully at home this year, we got the running game figured out, and we got the turnovers figured out from the quarterback position. And if we got that, we should beat Davenport. So at worst, we come into it 1-1. Then, back-to-back home games. Next game is Livingstone at home. Listen to me. Man, we got, man, Livingstone got to get it, man. That's a must-win game. Livingstone got to get stalked. Last year, losing to them on that Papa Smurf field, what an embarrassment. And it was a blowout. We had, 6 turns? Listen, man. It's get back time. Livingstone is a must-win game. At home, must win. Which means going into week 4, we should be 2-1. Then I'm gonna get some of the games out of order, but I believe after that is Winston-Salem State on the road. This is not the old Winston-Salem State. The old Winston-Salem is really why I don't like Winston-Salem. Because I remember back in the day, we were still trying to break through and get to championships and stuff, and Winston-Salem would do us dirty. That's why I got an issue with them to this day. So we got to pay them back for all them losses in the past. We got to go to Winston-Salem, and I'm planning on being out there because, I never been there before, and I want to see how y'all dog them boys out in person. So that's week 4. So coming out of week 4, we should be 3-1. Need to beat Davenport, have to beat Livingstone, have to beat Winston-Salem State. Especially if we come out and lose to Lenoir-Rhyne and lose to Davenport. If that happens, have to beat Livingstone, have to beat Winston-Salem, come out 2-2. That has to happen. We got Bluefield for homecoming. I mean, I mean, listen, man, homecoming gonna be a party. That's all I'm gonna say. Homecoming gonna be a party. That's all I can say about that. So that's a dub. Gotta be. What else we got? We got Fayetteville State on the road. Fayetteville State has been dominating the South for about 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years now. Their problem is they can't score points, but they play defense. And we're playing them on the road, and we don't play them all that often. And we beat them, like, I think several times in a championship game. So they definitely remember that. That's not going to be no easy win. That's going to be a grinded out game. Because they can't score, but they can stop you from scoring. So that's going to be, we're going to see how that go. I'm not going to lie, I don't watch that much Fayetteville State. I ain't going to lie to you. I really don't. But I know offensively is where their challenges are. Then we also have, well, like I said, Virginia Union at home. We're not going to let Jada Byers run one wild on us 3 years in a row, are we? There's no way that's going to happen 3 years in a row. I hope not. 3 in a row. Come on now. Y'all ain't going to let that happen. Once again, I'm not making a prediction yet, but I am going to say this. You got Bluefield at home for homecoming. You got Livingstone at home. You got Union at home. You have Lincoln at home. Virginia State on the road. Fayetteville State on the road. Elizabeth City on the road. Realistically, if you want to go to Salem, Livingstone is a must-win. Elizabeth City is a must-win. Lincoln at home. This is not the old Lincoln. They can play ball. They can score. Can't stop a nosebleed, but they can score. But at home, last game of the season, have to beat Lincoln. Virginia State, Virginia Union have to split. You got to win one of those. Preferably both. But realistically, if you want to go to Salem, you have to beat either Union or State. I want to beat both, honestly. You got Union at home. Listen, man, I'm tired of Jada Byers. I'm tired of it. Got to shut that down. And then you look at State, they lost a lot of guys. Lost the quarterback, listen. So we can beat both of them. We have to beat at least one of them. You lose to State and Union, you're not going to Salem. Especially if you already lost to Lenore Ryan and maybe to Davenport, it ain't happening. Then on top of that, Winston-Salem is going to be a tough game on the road. Fayetteville State is going to be a tough game on the road. It's simple math. You're going to Salem, have to beat Bluefield, have to beat Livingstone, have to beat Elizabeth City. Then you got Lincoln, Virginia State, Virginia Union, Fayetteville State. That's 4 games. You probably need to win 3 if you're going to go to Salem. You definitely got to beat Lincoln because that's North Division. Got to win that one. And then State or Union, you got to win one of those. That's the division as well. We know for a fact that either State or Union is going to have a loss because they play each other, and somebody has to lose that game. So we know for a fact that one of them is going to have one division loss, for sure. We have to make sure we give another one of them a second division loss. Has to happen. It's simple mathematics. You got to beat Lincoln. You got to beat Bluefield. And you got to beat either State or Union, preferably both. But you have to beat one or you're not going to Salem. Simple. So with that being said, we're going to see what we're going to do. We're going to see week 1, Lenoir-Rhyne. Then we're going to see Davenport at home. Listen, I know everybody comes out to homecoming and all those kinds of things. But let me just make this appeal to y'all. We need a homecoming close type of crowd for the home opener versus Davenport. I understand it's not going to be nearly as many people as homecoming, but we need, I'd say, 3,000 people in the stands for the home opener versus Davenport. We need that home opener, home advantage. We need that crowd going crazy. We need to win that game because let me tell you something. With the right crowd and a good win versus Davenport, get some good feelings, get some momentum, then you go out there, second home game, smash Livingstone. Now you're building up confidence, you're building up momentum, then you go on the road and win however you got to win against Winston-Salem. Now you're on a 3-game win streak. Man. But listen, once again, it's simple math. Simple math. So we're going to see it.